What's going on, YouTube world and TikTok world? This is your boy, Big Miz from the Zoo, and I'm back with another story. But as y'all can see, like my whole area, the whole environment is a little different because I'm going to be telling some stories from the Red Room. And these stories right here is going to be more of the situations where I talk about unalivings of good people that I came across. And this individual right here, man, was actually a good person. This dude was a very, very good person. And this story is about how the YNs unalived chain gang pops over his commissary. Now, I'm gonna put you in the mind of chain gang pops, man. This dude, he was a really laid back individual. He already had been down maybe like 17 years before I even got to the chain gang. He was already set in his ways. He liked to help people. He did not argue with none of the officers. He didn't get into any trouble. I guess he had already played his games already, kind of like back in the day. So he was kind of settled. He knew his routine, his diet, and everything. He always is reading and helping people when they go to the lower library. He'll actually even get a ticket to go out with you, or call out to go out with you and help you find your cases and stuff like that, and explain to you the jargon so you'll know exactly where you need to go. He'll put you in the right direction. Now, it was the day, like before store day, he was actually walking around, like before store day, and he was just paying attention. He wasn't saying nothing because he's not the type of person, but he was paying attention to who didn't have things and who did. You know what I'm saying? And he was noticing quite a few people wasn't getting store called, they was hurting, and that's the reality of a lot of people inside of the chain gang. Like people burn their bridges or their attacks that they did be so messed up, but from back in the day or whatever, and now they're just stuck in jail with nobody holding them down by any means. And he was helping people. He liked to pull up on the young boys when he see them about to get into some trouble and kind of like give them some proper nasiha. And what I mean by nasiha is like information, you know what I'm saying? Tell them some knowledge and just let them know that, yo, it's going to be all right. This is the way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Or if they got written up, he's telling them something from the SOP guidelines so they can get out of that trouble, so they won't mess up their TPMs, their temporary parole months, so they can get out of jail and go live their lives. Now, the next day was store day, and they was calling us out to go to the store. And I noticed that he was already at the door with two net bags, like he usually had, two net bags with nothing in it, because he about to go fill them boys up. And as soon as the lady's like, yo, come on, y'all can go to the store, he's out the door. He's shooting on the wall so he can be early in the line or whatever. Now, me and my celly go out there, and we're a couple steps behind him, but we getting up there. But now he's in a line. He's like fifth in line, and we're like 10th or 11th inside that line. And as we're getting closer up to go get our store haul, he's now receiving his, and he's laughing with the store lady. He's saying, "Yay, sweetie, no, it's fine. Like, how you doing?" and stuff like that. And all that, saying he's doing good. He's asking how her kids is and all that. Now he's got his stuff. He done moved to the side, and he's moving his stuff around because some of the stuff he's going to give out once he goes to the dorm. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff he's taking straight into his cell. You know what I'm saying? For his personal eating and stuff like that, as he stretches it from week to week. Now, when we was coming past, going to the store, I saw some young blood members, some real young boys that just got to the jail in Valdosta State Prison, and they're walking on the walk, and they looking real suspect, looking real shot out. A whole bunch of little young boys, probably like 20 to 24, and there was four of them, you know what I'm saying, on the walk. And they were just looking like they was up to no good. Now, Chain Gang Pops, he done started walking off. He walking, he saying hello to everybody. Some officers walk past, he said hello to them. And he's getting down there. Now, once he gets towards these individuals, me and my celly had just got our stuff. I was waiting for him to get his stuff, and I was like, yo, come on, man. Let's hurry up to the door and see what's going on, put this stuff up. That's what old Bombay or whatever. He was like, all right, no doubt, let's go. Now, we walking, and then my celly just stops in his track. I was like, what's up? He's like, yo, look, bro. So I'm looking, and I see the four individuals. They split into twos. Two went behind him, and he's walking past them. He nodded his head. He must have said hello to them. but one of them goes and grabs his bag. While the old man is trying to go this way, then grabbed his bag, pulled him back, and everything. He's an older gentleman, a very older gentleman. So now he's playing tug of war with this one young boy. The young boy pulls out a blade and he's cutting the bag to try for all his stuff to drop. You know what I'm saying? They'll pick it up and then they'll keep messing with him. Now he's tugging with them, he's ripping the bag. And the other cats that was in front of him now is now, he got his back towards them. And they pull out. Yo, man, these dudes pull out the longest, sharpest looking tools, like some gold rods and some bone cutters. These things look bone sharp, bro. Like, they don't even supposed to have these tools. How you just got down here and you got these tools, man? I'm talking about, yo, they started digging, and Chain Gang Pops hitting him good. Boom, one take back, the other one going boom. One going back, the other one going down. He's trying to turn around and trying to block with them. And the dudes on the other side is doing the same thing. They jumping in, backing up, jumping in, backing up. Chain Gang Pops is getting attacked from all areas. He's damn near like 11 hooks in at this time. Where my celly was like, yo, come back. Now I'm sitting, I'm stuck because I'm looking, and my intrusive thoughts are saying, yo, go help him. But I know if I do this with this gang faction right here that's handling business with him, I know that it's going to be a problem and there's a war going to pop off. All because of Chain Gang Pops, or I might not get that assistance because he's nothing that we are. You know what I'm saying? So I started moving back with my celly, and my celly's like, yo, he started talking loud in front of the officer that's in front of the commissary booth. You know what I'm saying? And then the officer looks and he starts running down there. Boom, he starts calling the code, saying 10, 10, 10, 10. And then all these officers coming from all different directions, but they're coming from far. And you see these boys going crazy. Chain Gang Pop. Face shots, headshots, face shots, headshots. He going like this, trying to block it in his hands and everything. You sort of just fall. Oh, there's so much coming from Chain Gang Pops. He's painting the sidewalk, man. And yo, he was unalived and left on that sidewalk. They tried to help him out. They could not revive him or nothing, man. I think it was one of the saddest situations that I've saw, because he didn't deserve none of that of what happened. That's why I'm asking y'all, please stay out the way. Stay out of trouble. Stay out the way. Stay out of trouble. Don't do something stupid and find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, or Chain Gang. Because Chain Gang Pops, he didn't deserve it, man. He didn't deserve none of that. And them young boys did him dirty, overly dirty. They overdid him, man. You know what I'm saying? That was a doggone shame, man. This your boy Big Miz from the Zoo. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, I'm tired of talking about good dudes that lose their life over some suckers and doing some sucker shit. Word up, man. I'm going, y'all. Peace, y'all. Yo, what's up? What's going on? This is your boy Big Miz from the Zoo. And I'm back with another story. And yes, we are back in the red room. And this story right here is about an individual that you kind of see in every chain gang. You know what I'm saying? Damn near in every dorm. This individual name was Pup.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, Mississippi? What up, y'all?
And we started calling him Let Me Get a Soup, because he was like a Maytag, like a dude that goes around cleaning people's cells. He'll do odd jobs. He'll go running to get hot water for your soup or for your coffee. He trying to sweep out your room, mop out your room, wipe it down, you know what I'm saying, clean it and everything. And he be always saying, let me get a soup. Or he'll invite a situation like, yo, you look tired, man. You look real tired, bro. I see how you leaning on the rail, man. You want me to come up there and knock out your room real quick before inspection? Let me get a soup. Like, this is how he was coming. And he would say that to everybody and anybody about anything. You know what I'm saying? And he'll always say, let me get a soup. And these type of individuals, when they come into the prison system, After they get sentenced, it's like they usually, like, their family will kind of like start distancing themselves from that individual, so they have no backing. They don't have people sending mail into them, you know what I'm saying, sending money orders in. You're not getting no packages, no visits, or none of that. So you're kind of like hustling off the land. And that's how this individual was. He didn't disrespect nobody. He tried to respect everybody because he wanted to work and do something for any and everybody. And I noticed that that was his daily thing. This is what he did. Like, for months that I was there, this is what he'll do. From the break of dawn, when he drinking his coffee and people coming out their cell, he looking like, man, you should let me press that, man. You know I'm up in the laundry now. You should let me press that. You need me to? Let me get a suit. Like, this is how he was coming. Now, it was some people moving around, coming into the different dorms or whatever, and I don't know exactly where he was coming from, but I know the dude that slid up in our dorm, they said that he was down for at least like 20 something years or whatever. And he was in the old chain gang, like Alto days and all that. And this was an older gentleman. He looked very fit for his age, though. If he was like 50 something, close to 60 years old, he looked very fit. He was very tall, like 6'5". You know what I'm saying? Slender built. He looked muscular, toned up and everything. Had a butt naked face. Like he even shaved his mustache, everything off. He just butt naked face. Looked at kind of weird a little bit. I'm gonna say that, but he had a real stern face. And when he came into the dorm, he came luggaged up. He had mad bags, mad food and everything. And as people were standing around, they was asking like what he claimed and stuff like that. He walked past everybody. He ain't even look at them. He's standing taller than everybody. He coming in, he walked past them. Boom. He go into a cell, and you could tell his clothes was all extra creased up. He still had the shiny tips on his boots too. You know what I'm saying? And we was fading out of that era, but he was definitely in there. You know what I'm saying? And as he stayed in our dorm, I noticed he would rarely come out the dorm, and then, out his cell, you know what I'm saying, into the day room or anything. He'll always be playing his cell. He had an old radio too, a big boombox radio. I think I spoke about that before. I'm gonna do another video on that another time though, but he's always in there listening to his radio or whatever, like that. And then he started coming out telling people about he has store. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to run a store. He was dealing with a selected few of people or whatever the case may be. And when I saw him talking about it in front of the TV, I noticed, let me get a soup was over there. He was looking at the man or whatever. And I thought that he was about to go start doing his rounds and asking, can he be Maytag and do some work for somebody, buffing out they cell or something like that, and be like, let me get a suit. But he's looking at him talk. And he was standing there. He had a soup in his hand, but he went to the dude and he was like, man, how much you do for 2 soups, man? Like, I need 2 beef soups. Like, what you trying to do for 2 beef soups? He was like, it's going to cost too much, Playboy. It's going to cost too much, man. He's like, nah, I just want 2 soups. I pay it back on store. He was like, it's going to be 5 soups. It's going to be 5 soups. You want it or not? And I saw that old head, like, was kind of on some ignorant stuff. You know what I'm saying? How he was doing pug or whatever, let me get a suit. But he was like, come on, follow me, man. And he giving it to him, but he's talking to him before he hands it over to him. Like, he's giving him a whole speech or something. I couldn't really hear exactly the words, but you can tell he's not handing over that soup until he was done talking. Then he gives him the soups, and then they go their different ways. A couple days go past, bro, and store day hits. And let me get a soup is still in his cell. When they call for everybody to go out, he's still in his cell. And I noticed that OG keeps opening his door. He's opening his door a lot, looking out, looking through the door. He closed the door. You hear his music blasting too. Every time he open it, you'll hear the music. He looking around or whatever. Now, after store call is over, people is going out to chow and all that. And I'm in the dorm. I did not go to chow, and a couple other people didn't go to chow because we was about to hook something up that day or whatever. And because everybody was good that was with me. And I noticed that OG comes out his cell. He has a pillowcase in his hand, and it looked like something is inside this pillowcase or whatever. He's walking on the bottom range because that's where he stays at, and Let Me Get a Soup stays on the other side. Now, he goes around and goes to Let Me Get a Soup's door. He's tapping on the door, and then the door's about to open up, and this man goes in. Now, when he goes in, from that point, like the way he rushed in, it seemed like it was gonna be some loud boom, 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 all that in there. It ain't no sound at all. It's no sound going on and everything. Now, it's probably like maybe 3 to 4 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't know, but Chow is about to come back or whatever. And when dude opens the door, when this man opens the door back up, it's like he went in there for an all-out massacre. This dude came back out with so much of Let Me Get a Soup's inside, you know what I'm saying, blood, everything all on his arms, his hands, on the big banger that he had in that pillowcase where he was hiding. He got it all over him, and this man is coming out the cell like this, wiping his face with this man's, all his Kool-Aid out of his body. He's wiping his face with it and everything. And he coming out the cell smiling. This man came out the cell smiling, going back to his cell with the weapon, everything. So I'm talking about, you can tell that he went in there like he was just slaughtering a dog or something up in there, man. And when he went into his cell, everybody is running down there, open the door, and man, this guy, Let Me Get a Soup, was in there in his bed. It looked like a horror show up in that spot, man. Like, people were trying to get him up out of there, rushing him to the door for the officer to call for medical. Medical is running down there. They get him up out of there. And this man, he did not make it. He did not make it from that situation, man. Let Me Get a Soup was a good dude. He was a good, solid dude. And this happens to too many people, too much in the Georgia Department of Corrections. I'm asking Lord to stay out the streets, stay out the way. Please don't go do nothing stupid and find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. And you can be called to Let Me Get a Soup, losing your life over 3 soups because the man didn't pay 3 soups, I heard. He said he was going to pay him next week, and that man said it was over. It was a wrap for him, man. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. I'm going, y'all. Peace. Yo, what's up? What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo. And yes, we're back in the red room. And this story today is a very, very recent situation. So I'm going to try my best to protect the victim in this situation. Even though the homework that I did on this, it seemed like he doesn't need no protecting for a couple different reasons. But I will shorten the name of this individual. This is going to be the CB story, and how his running around got him caught up when he went to the hole. Now, this is in Ware State Prison, Waycross, Georgia. This incident just took place December 1st of this year. And CB, he was a model inmate, you know what I'm saying? He came into the prison with a life sentence with charges stemming from kidnapping and murder. So yes, he did unalive somebody. So y'all might not feel too sensitive about his situation because he does have victims of his own. But when he got to his camp after moving around through the years, because he was down for plenty years, over 15 plus years. But it got to this month where he was in Weir State Prison and he was dealing with some gang members. He was actually getting product in with them, and he thought that this would be a good time to switch camps. And people do this sometimes. They catch out and they call it going and laying it down, where they're trying to get like a justification for going to PC and laying it down and then trying to get to a different camp. But he was doing this under some different circumstances. He was actually trying to run off on the guys that he was doing business with. And this is a no-no in the chain gang. It's a no-no because you got to get away fast. You got to get away fast and hope that these dudes are not plugged in. And this is the vital mistake that he made. Once he went and picked up a pack that's supposed to have been going in 3 ways with 3 different people, he was one and then there was 2 other gang members involved. And I don't want to talk about the specific gang member because I said this is a very, very recent event. And I know people are still mourning and they're still doing investigations about this situation right here. Even the autopsy hasn't came back. But he goes and he catches out after getting the pack. He said that he went to his detail officer and said that he was scared to go back to the dorm. He was fearing for his life. They went and talked to a lieutenant. And then he goes to the hole right then with the pack on him. And as the days are going by, he has a cellie too. And as the days are going by, he's thinking that he's scot-free. Didn't know that his cellmate had a jack. He has a phone. And one night, on December 1st, he gets a call. His cellmate gets a call. He's at the back window. He's talking. And they saying, yo, G, look. Some dude done ran off on us. His name is C, last name B, this, that, and the third. Boom, boom, boom. This is what he looks like. Tall white guy, you know what I'm saying? About 200 and something pounds. He's like 47 years old. Like they breaking him down. He was like, yo, folk, he in the cell with me right now. He was like, what? Like, he in the cell with me right now. When we put him on the phone, he was like, nah, look. We'll drop some bread on you right now. We'll send a cash app to you right now. Put some wings on him. Like, what you want me to do? That's all he needed to hear. They said, yo, we'll send you $300 right now. You go ahead and take his life from him. Boy, this dude gets off the phone. He turns around to Buddy. He was like, damn, man. Like, so hold up. I never asked you why you came to the hole, man. What's going on with you? And he was like, man, it's a long story, man. It's a long story. He was like, oh, it is? And he going through his stuff to go get that bone crusher out. He's like, what you mean it's a long story? It's long like this? And he pulls this banger out. Start hitting him all of his legs because he's sitting on the top bunk inside the cell. Start hitting him all of his legs, and he bringing him down off the bunk. I'm talking about banging him, banging him, banging him, banging him, banging him. Like, he catching him all in the upper region, his neck area, face shots, you know what I'm saying? And they said that one went into his eye, boom, and he brought it back out, kept jagging at this dude, hitting him. Dude is trying to get away. He hitting the door, said, help. But he started like grabbing his face, putting it against the door, and hitting him in his jaw with this bone crusher. This bone crusher is going through his jaw, and the point is going through his mouth. He hitting him. There's no more yelling. There's no more yelling for CB. He met his fate inside that cell by the hands of his cellie. Him trying to run away. Him trying to run away with somebody's pack. It's never a good idea. If you're ready to start doing some foul stuff and all that, you might as well just go lock it down for yourself and get your mind right. Then come back on the compound once your mind is together. Because as soon as you start thinking that way, you're a dead man walking anyway. All they gotta do is find out that you're trying to do something crazy and something out the way and take food out of niggas' mouths that's in jail, and they probably was lifers anyway. When chain gang rules is in full effect and it becomes a life for a life situation, or you running off with people's money in a high amount, they're gonna put wings on you. The helicopter will be coming to pick you up, or the coroner be scraping you off the walk. You're not getting away. Don't come to these prisons playing no type of games. None. It's best that you come into this jail, do your time, talk to your people, get your visits, do what you gotta do, eat your food, stay out the way, don't gamble, don't bet, don't do nothing out the way, don't play no F games with nobody or nothing. Because you're gonna find yourself too deep in a situation and they're gonna want demands from you that you can't handle. Or if you get into a situation, don't get greedy and think, yo, I'm about to run off with the shit. If you got some type of issue or something, let them know so you can faithfully bow out and tap out of that situation. Or you're gonna find yourself just like CB, unalived. And like I said, this situation right here, many people probably don't even care about his well-being because he came in there with a life sentence with kidnapping somebody and unaliving somebody. So no, when you come down there with these charges, you might reap the benefits of your charges later on down the line, bro. And what's that's called? That's called your own personal dish handed back to you. That's your karma. Take it or leave it. And I don't feel no type of way about the situation. I have no qualms about it. It could have went either way for me. But this story definitely needed to reach the red room.
Yo, CB is the initials of somebody that just passed a couple months ago. Died by his cellmate's hands inside the hole. Running off on somebody, running off on a group of people's money and all that. That's who CB is. Let me get back into this.
I'm here. This is Big Miz from the zoo. Y'all please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I got y'all every trip, but I'm just asking you, please, don't do nothing stupid outside in these streets and find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. Don't do it. Yo, what's up? What's going on? It's your boy Big Miz from the zoo. And we're back in the red room. In this situation right here, I'm going to expound on how dangerous and how serious it is when you come to a prison. It can start off in the county jail. It can start off in the streets. But you get to these jails and then you find your way into a prison, especially the chain gang, the Georgia Department of Corrections, and you come there with a habit, a drug habit, or you get onto a drug and you become addicted to this drug where you spiral out of control. You get to a point in life where you're not managing things correctly. Now you're playing a lot of games and you're only trying to feed your habit. And it gets like that, especially for the guys that's doing a lot of time. They're stressed all the way out and they just want to escape from the world. They don't want to stay in reality. That's a painful place to be at, reality. And this situation right here, I'm going to be speaking about old man Franklin and how he got so caught up on what they call cream, what we know to be amphetamines. And this dude, like, he had to leave 2 different prisons, playing games and owing people, and then catching out because his wife can't fit the bill. She told him that she was done because she felt something weird was going on. She said her spirit is not sitting right with the situation. Something that's not right about what you're saying to me, how frequent you're calling me and asking me to send money to this guy and this guy. And the conversation always seemed weird when you're talking to me. You're not even talking in the proper pattern that you usually talk to me in. And he got released from the hole, getting moved around as a sleeper, and got released from the hole to this one camp that I don't feel comfortable opening up that can of worms on exactly what camp it was, because this situation is fairly new. You know what I'm saying? And he came with them same tricks and didn't know this is the wrong camp for that. And I'm going to let you know, yes, it was a level 5 camp. And he started dealing with some young saying Spedo and a couple homeboys, his affiliates, his gang members, and he started playing games. He had a little bit of money since he was a sleeper in a hole, and he was spending good, getting in their favor. He thought that he was doing good. But once he got low and he was geeking out of his mind, one weekend, this man conjured up a plan. He thought that he could be slicking in oil, and he forgot that oil dries. And he went to tell them that he wanted a 200 piece of some ice cream, knowing that he did not have the money to pay for it. He sat up there and faked them out. He faked these dudes out with a facetious little slip saying this money good, just go ahead and put it on your card or whatever. Like he slid them this little piece of paper. They slid him to work, and they found out it was $5 on there. 5. And he forgot it was the weekend. He didn't know that they can move around like that, because he slid through doing around lunchtime hours. He's walking on the walk. He done got out there, got his little pack or whatever, and didn't know that these dudes is now calling around trying to find out exactly what cell this man is in. Once they found out, and they was asking their homies like, yo, who in y'all dorm? Who running y'all dorm right now? Who in the booth? And they said, Mrs. Blase Blah. And this lady right here is somebody that goes to sleep on the job. And they went to the booth. They getting her. She's in the bathroom, knocked out. You know what I'm saying? They waking her up. Boom, boom, banging on the thing. She come out. And she like, what? What's going on? Like, damn, I'm in the bathroom. You see, I'm in the bathroom. They said, look, forget all that. Look, one of my brothers trying to come through. Like, I owe him some money. I need to give him this money. You know what I'm saying? He hungry and he need this money. I mean, he was like, look, we're going to let you sleep for the rest of the day. We already know what's going on with you. She messing with her hair or whatever. Like, look, y'all gonna have to be quick, because I don't got no time for all this bullshit. Like, y'all be playing a lot of games. He better be in and out this dorm, and I'm serious. Buddy and them already coming down the walk. They already knew what time it was. They was going to step to her anyway. You know what I'm saying? Whether they brothers had got her out the bathroom or not. And they come on to the small yard. They come to the dorm. She let them boys smooth in. They go creeping up on old man door. And old man Franklin is in there tweaked out of his mind, looking all crazy at the back window, looking around, tweaking. And he didn't know, as soon as that door opened, it was like that for him. And once they got him in there and closed that door, bro, this is the only thing that took place after the fact. This is sad. Because at this moment, what you're seeing is the beginning part before the promise they made to him. Y'all heard them make him a promise. We're going to take your life. We're going to put wings on you. And they kept up with their promise. Old man Franklin lost his life in the results of his injuries. Because I heard that after they poured him out and all that, they kept beating his body. They plummeted his body. They crushed his skull, broke his jaw, his eye sockets and everything, you know what I'm saying? Crushed his hands, crushed his ribs, broke his ankles, and all that. Over some cream. Is it worth it? Is it worth you going to these prisons and getting hooked on these drugs and then start playing games and then you're no longer coming home? It's not even worth it. It makes no sense. It's not adding up. Either y'all brothers stop selling to these weak individuals, you know what I'm saying, that just can't get it together, and y'all know the ones who's like that. Or y'all brothers that have these issues and you thinking, yo, drugs is the next alternative, find something else to do. Because you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting your loved ones that's out there too, man. I'm asking y'all, give yourself a chance behind these bars as well. Just like I asked the people in the streets, be smart, be diligent. Don't put yourself in harm's way and don't do nothing stupid when you're gonna find yourself, man, in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. Like, bro, damn. Yo, what's up? What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo, and I'm back in the red room. And I have a story, man, about an individual named Malik. And he was in 901 Wright Street. I was also there in 901 Wright Street with Malik. And this story is how Malik did not make it out. Yo, this dude, man, he was a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a real down-to-earth individual. He was quick to type of help you out individual, you know what I'm saying? A younger gentleman, he was probably like 28, 29 at the time. And I saw him kind of like stay in his cell though. Like, it was real wild out there at the time, you know what I'm saying? I think I was on 5 South something. You know what I'm saying, 200 or 300, and he would keep to himself. He steady be on the phone in the morning time, talking to his girl, planning on trying to get that bail money. That's all he talked about was that bail money. He was trying to get that bail money, and he stayed in there for like 14 months while his people tried to save up this money so he can jump and then fight his case from the streets. That's all he wanted to do. He was tired of going to court, you know what I'm saying, in that jail suit, because he felt that that was like an omen to him. It was messing him up, you know what I'm saying? And I would see how he be smiling big, talking to his kids on the phone, laughing with his girl and stuff like that. He was like, man, I can't wait to go home. Yo, I can't wait to go home. Hell yeah, man. Yo, nah, my girl doing good out there, yo. My little boy, he asking a lot of questions, man. He always talking about that while we eating at the table, you know what I'm saying? He always talking about he can't wait to get home, you know what I'm saying, to fight his case from the streets. As time is going by, I'm noticing that he's slightly talking about going home because he's getting close. I remember him saying they had like a couple thousand left to get. And as the time is going by, he's knocking it down. He's like, yo, 1,000 more. I'm out of here. Boy, I'm from here. Yo, buddy, I'm from here, bro. I'm from here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I always be laughing like, yo, this nigga be like, yo, I'm from here. I'm from here, bro. You know what I'm saying? He'll go in the cell, boom, he be dancing and everything, happy as I don't know what. And boy, I remember like it was yesterday. The night that the Sarge came in and said, man, it's your lucky day. Your people down there working on that bail and all. Man, this man went jumping through the door. Yo. They told me they was coming through, but they didn't even call me all day. I was wondering what was going on. Why they wasn't calling, man? My people here, bro. My people here. It looked like he wanted to shed a tear. He running around doing all different types of stuff. Now he working out. He doing stuff that he didn't even usually do. You know what I'm saying? He working out, everything. He playing cards with niggas and all that. Like, yo, come on. Y'all want to play spades? Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Like, he's opening his shell at the end of his bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. Well, we go and we lock it down. He said, like, he couldn't even take it. It was too much anxiety for him walking back and forth. Like, he started walking back and forth for like 3 hours. Boom, 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 boom. While his people was trying to get him out. We're in the cell. I remember the cats that's in there. One was from Lithonia, another one from the deck, Decatur, you know what I'm saying? And then 2 dudes from Atlanta. One of them was my cellie and it was me. And they in there beating on the table, and they was rapping, and I'm listening to them. We jamming. And I remember when you heard them say, 200, or, yeah, I think they said 200. The door opens, bro. And they called that man name. Yo, when they called that man name, it seemed like everybody was getting released. We heard that name, we was like, oh, yo, that nigga getting out, Malik getting out. Boom, I'm jumping down, and Malik must have heard his name get called while he was laying there. He's on the bottom bunk, but he forgot at that time that they kept putting in for requests. They kept putting in for requests the whole time he was there about this damn nail that was like this long and real sharp screw at the top of his bed. You know what I'm saying? It's at the bottom of the top bunk, but at the very top of his bed. He forgot all about it. Yo, once they called this boy name, man, he must have jumped up out of his sleep, bro. And once he jumped up out of his sleep, he must have jumped smooth up. And that nail went and lodged in this man's head. They said it was probably like at least like 4 inches or something like that in his head. He jumped up so fast, it went smooth through. And his cellie telling him like, yo, they called your name. But he's so stuck. He's stuck at the top bunk with this nail in this man's head with all, yo, it was a crazy sight because once his roommate saw it, he jumped out. He's like, yo, boom, he burst out the door. He called the officers like, yo, come here. He was like, man, tell him to come on, man. Come on, this train is going. He was like, no, come here, man. He got a hole in his hand. Like, come on. The officer laughing. I'm like, man, come on, man. Tell that man to come on, man, before he get left for real. I ain't playing. He was like, yo, the officer ran over there. He saw what was going on. He run back. He looking for his walkie-talkie. I remember he did not have it. And then he banging on the door, getting them in the booth, telling them, look, call the people. And then they're just paying attention to his movement and know how frantic he was. They call for help. They running down there. It's all these nurses and stuff like that. They were scared to pull that man's head off that nail because they said that it might hurt him even more. They was trying to figure it out. They had the whole dorm. We all there standing there looking, and cats is just like quiet and all looking because this was this dude's release. They was coming to pick him up for release so he can go home and be with his family. And yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you never know when something is going to happen to you. He would have never thought that. Because we would have told him, don't go to sleep, bro. Don't forget about that nail, bro. This man lost his life over a nail, not nobody viciously attacking him or nothing. This was a cause. It was like, yo, this was so bizarre and so crazy, my man. That's why I'm telling y'all, please give yourself a chance out here in these streets, because you don't know if you might get a Malik. You know what I'm saying? And something is wrong in your cell and you get a freak accident and you don't even make it out of the county on the day of your release. That made no sense. I've never saw nothing like that before. Never heard of nothing like that before. You know what I'm saying? This man sat there, his eyes wide open, his hands down, with his head looked like it's stuck to the top of the bunk, bro. And that man lost his life that night, and they had to go tell his family that they didn't fix the issue of even shaving down that nail because they was talking about this can kill somebody. And it did. You know what I'm saying? And for all the people that went through Fulton County Jail, 901 Wright Street, and had a terrible situation go on with them, you know what I'm saying? Because there's more stories about people that crazy stuff happened at 901 Wright Street, man. You know what I'm saying? Prayers out to all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking y'all, don't do nothing stupid outside in these streets and find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, a chain gang, y'all. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. Y'all be easy, man. Yo, what's up? What's going on? This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo, and I'm back with another story for y'all. And yes, we are in the red room. And this story right here that I'm going to speak about, it takes place in a used to be minimum security prison, Washington State Prison, but now they're looking at it as a level 5 camp. It's a lot of attacks going on there. It has turned up from when I was there, and this situation takes place when I was there. And we had a situation going on against a faction, an organization, a gang that I'm not going to put on the forefront, but I'm just letting y'all know we was getting into it with this actual faction. And things was real hot at the time. They're moving people in and out, you know what I'm saying, putting people in the hole, shipping them off with emergency transfers and everything, people that been doing the pouring out or attacking other inmates, catching them down bad and getting them, stuff like that. The score is upping on our side, then they'll match the score and all that. Like, it was kind of going crazy a little bit. But one day, a situation transpired, and a lieutenant came to our dorm and said that he wanted to present something to us know what I'm saying, later on in Jumawar, after Jumawar, he wanted to show us something, right? So we're wondering what's going on. He said it's very important. He needs to talk to us as a whole Umar, like the whole Muslim congregation. He wanted to speak to us in a whole to see if he can try to bring some type of solution to the situation, but it was something that he needed to show us. And it was agreed upon the imam after Jumu'ah come through. Show us what you're going to show us, talk to us about whatever. We're willing to listen to try to bring some type of resolution to the situation, at least to like bring it down a couple levels so people are not getting unalived in the situation. Now, after this good cool part that the brother gave, and everybody was in good spirits, everybody's good, we talking, making sure like brothers in different dorms, like, yo, good over there, like, you sure? Like, salam alaikum, alaikum assalam rahmatullah. Like, yo, come on, be feasible of Allah, you know what I'm saying? Move only for the sake of Allah, don't jump out there and be going crazy, y'all. Think, you know what I'm saying? We saying that and greeting each other back and forth, and then the lieutenant comes in front of the Umar and said he wanted to show us something. And he said for us to like clear our minds or take a breath or whatever like that, and for us to gather around him because he had it in his phone. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, better yet, I also have it in this tablet. He went into this little case thing and opened up a tablet. And he said for us to brace ourselves. I'm already thinking that he's about to show us something that we kind of wasn't ready for. You know what I'm saying? And he said, hey, it took place on the other side of the camp yesterday. We tried to keep it under the radar and for y'all not to know what's going on so it won't pop off dorm to dorm and possibly go camp to camp. But the reason why y'all brother Mustafa did not come to Jumu'ah today is because of this. He pressed play. And what we're seeing our brother come in from his detail into the dorm. And then these gang members that we're into it with come blindsided him. Like six of them surrounded him. And they're already clutching. They got their fingers pulled out and everything. And he's standing there and he's like looking at everybody, trying to see how he can try to get out of this situation. But luckily, he had one of them things on him as well. But they start going at him from all different directions, just jabbing at him. And he's moving. He's trying to move out the way. He's moving out the way, dodging. But anywhere that he would go, they now get him. Boom, move, get him. Boom, boom, they get him. Boom, and now some of these bangers are sticking in his body. And this brother is so much of a warrior. He's pulling these bangers out of him, using it back on them, fighting back. But I'm talking about he's trying his best. He's getting down like a warrior is supposed to. And he was moving, tactful, he was doing the right things, but they was tearing him up. They tore him up, and we stood around looking at each other. Some of the brothers is tearing. I've been doing time with him for a long time. I only knew him for like a year, and my heart was broken. My heart was broken watching this brother fighting and pulling these bangers out of his body to use it back on them, while everybody in the dorm stood around and they just looked at this situation go down. And the part that hurt me the most is when this brother was trying to get away and one dude came with this long thing and hit him. Boom, he was like, ah! And I know that hurt him to see all the other people, because he helped people in his dorm and everything. And to see them just looking at him get down batted in that type of situation where he had no type of help and no way out of this. He knew that he was losing his life that day. You can see it in his eyes. You saw when the life left from his eyes. And boy, that right there started mayhem inside of that prison. When we saw that, we couldn't even think right no more. There was no thinking right. It's like, yo, we going back to the dorm and we popping off the rip. We don't care. We not trying to hear none of that, anything. Some brothers knew they was about to get extra time and everything. And just luckily, once he showed us and he saw how we was moving, once we was getting back to the dorm, they went and locked it down. They didn't even allow us to do anything. Once we started moving on the walk, the SWAT team and everything is escorting us to the buildings, and they locked us down. They thought about it. They was real smart, because I promise you, I promise you, it would have went bananas in every dorm if they would have just allowed us to walk in those dorms. We was going to get laced up, army ready, soldier ready, and we was going to go bananas inside of those dorms. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this situation had to hit the red room, because I thought about it. It was a crazy situation. Peace to Ak, inna lillahi wa inna lillahi raji'un. From God we came, and surely to him we will return. Please, y'all stay out of these streets. Don't find yourself getting in trouble and do something stupid and be in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. Don't do that to yourself. You'll be going out real bad if you do. Believe me. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm going, y'all. Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo, and I'm back with another story for y'all. Yes, we are in the red room, and I'm gonna speak about tragedies that take place within the chain gang, where freak accidents happen, or just messing around or playing around or trying just to kick up some ruckus in your cell and be undermining the authority just to get some attention or to get moved to a different prison. I don't know exactly what these two individuals was doing, man. It was one inmate by the name of Vestal and Richard Strickland. They said actually Vestal was serving a life sentence, and Richard Strickland, for the strings of robberies that he committed, he was doing 20 years. So one of them had no chance and no possibility for parole, while the other inmate had a chance to get back out to live his life as a productive citizen. Once he would have got his stuff together and received some type of parole, he could have lived. And yes, I said he could have lived. Because in this situation, it stems back to 2016, February, on a Tuesday. These two inmates was in their cell, which they shared together. And they thought it was a good idea in Valdosta State Prison, that level 5 camp, to kick up some dust in their cell while they were actually locked down. Now, I don't know if this was a drug-induced situation, where they drunk, did they have any type of mind altering drug to make them think that what they did or one of them started was a good idea. But this night, as everybody's locked down, and just like the regular lockdown, you hear people yelling from door to door and stuff like that. People is trying to talk to other people saying, send this down and do this and do that. And one of them is in the cell with a...
Hold up. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm trying to tweak the soundboard at the same time. I mean, but I'm in my zone trying to knock these stories out. I mean, these are my Red Room stories I'm doing over. But yeah, I think that's how the phone is picking up the sound a little bit more heavier. I mean, at certain points, yeah, you're right. And thank you. Let's get back into it.
Right idea, thinking, I'm going to use my lighter and I'm going to set our mattress on fire while we're in here. Now, the thing is, which one of them do you think will want to come up with this plan and good idea to go ahead and set their mattress ablaze? Something that once you light it, it has these fibers and stuff in it and this hard plastic, and once it's lit and it catches, this fiber is going to just really just go ablaze and have it an uncontrollable fire that they can't even get near or touch. And then the gases and the smoke that comes from this fire, you're not even going to be able to receive it. You can't even inhale this stuff. It's way too strong. And in this cell, this closed-in environment, this heat is going to burn you up. It's going to get too hot in there, and there's no way to move. You can try to push the window open so you can breathe a little bit, or try to get low or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it went like this. Once the lifer set this fire ablaze and it was uncontrollable, he moved away from this mattress and he's telling homeboy, like, yo, come on, let's try to put this out. Let's try to put this out. Come on, man. We got to put this out, man. And they're trying to figure out if they can just throw some water on it, try to fill their cups up. But the fire is too much. It's too much. So they're trying to get to the door and contact people and yelling out, yo, come on. Yo, we need help, yo, we need help. Because this room is getting so hot, the temperature in this room is getting so hot, it is blazing in there. It is blazing in there. And now you're not just hearing people yelling out, trying to call out people's names and all that. You're hearing screams of desperation. Because their body, their skin and all that is getting burnt to a crisp inside of this cell. Inmates are smelling burnt flesh and everything. They're going, trying to get these officers that neglected them. 2 officers was contacted and alerted them to go help these brothers that's in this cell trying to get out. And they neglected the calls from these inmates, thinking that they're playing games and wasting their time. They don't want to hear nothing. The staff is terrible. They're terrible. You need a whole crew of staff inside these prisons that have some type of humanity and some type of heart and love for other people, so you just don't treat them like garbage. Once they finally was pulled out of these cells, burnt, I'm talking about, they were messed up, disfiguredly burnt and scarred up. They got sent to a local medical center where these guys were pronounced under a life sentence. Some people would say that he didn't have nothing to live for at that point, and maybe he wanted to go out like that. and another that had 20 years and was eligible to go home because he only had strings of burglaries. When is this craziness, this nonsense going to stop? Who wants to hear that their loved ones just burned in a cell? That's like hard to grasp. Be like, hold up, in a cell? How did he burn in a fire in a cell? Think about it. It's just like they put you inside of a bathroom and then lit the bathroom on fire and you're in there burning. You just made your own personal hell. Your own personal one. It has to stop. It has to. This situation right here, yes, it stemmed from 2016 in Valdosta State Prison. I was there in Valdosta State Prison, not for this situation, but this situation was dug up by me. I did my homework and it had to be presented in the red room. To Fentel and Strickland, I don't know who y'all did anything to or victimized, but for those brothers that died like that, rest in peace. And I'm asking y'all, please be safe out there. Don't do nothing stupid outside in these streets. Please. And find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. And if you do have to go to jail and do some time, don't never think it's a good idea to be in the cell with your cellie and light the cell on fire. Because that just might be how you go out in a blaze. This is your boy Big Miz from the Zoo. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace, y'all. Yo, what's going on? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Miz from the Zoo, and we are back in the red room. And this situation right here, this was actually the very first unaliving that came across my eyes in the chain gang. And it showed me just how easily somebody can lose their lives without even knowing that it's on its way to them, and how easily people can catch up with you, especially when you try to outslick somebody, do them wrong, or cross their people out in the streets, or even victimize somebody's family that's in the chain gang and you run into them. But this situation right here stemmed from when we were in the county jail, in Gwinnett County Jail on the north side of Atlanta. Right before we were going, I remember seeing an individual like months ago, and he was collecting like a big debt, like going borrowing a lot of stuff from a lot of these gang members that was going down the road. And his thought was, since they already been sentenced and he hasn't, he gonna run it up, and then he gonna catch out on them. And that's exactly what he did. He ran it up at least probably like $200 to $250 for one person, and then like around the same amount for another. And these two dudes was in cahoots, but they didn't really wonder if he was going to pay them back, because he was paying back real good for a minute, but then he chose to do the dash. And these dudes get sentenced, or they were already sentenced, but they got sent down the road, and they was at Coastal State Prison. And then a couple Thursdays go past, probably like 5 or 6 Thursdays, and I've been sentenced, and so has this individual. But I didn't see this man until we get shackled up and handcuffed, and we're on the bus, and the officers are telling us to sit closer to the front because there was a dude behind us. And I was looking back there like, why is he so many chairs away from us or whatever like that? But he just sitting there, and he looking around, and he'll put his head down. I did not put it together that this was the dude that owed people and ran off with them. But once we got to Costa, with getting off the bus, we go through our processing, that crazy processing of humiliation, getting stripped down to nothing. Got to wash with all this different type of like I guess lice cleaner and stuff like that. You put it in your hair, you put it in your private area and all that. We're doing all this, getting our heads shaved, and then we're going into these dorms. And it must have got word to the individuals that this dude right here, he was the one that owed them all the money. And I remember asking while we was on the bus, like, yo, what's his issue? And somebody was like, yo, you don't remember him, bro? He the one that caught out on folk and them, you know what I'm saying? Them bloods that was getting that money. And yeah, he that same dude. And I was like, damn. But I didn't think of it as nothing until this day came where we was all out there, you know what I'm saying, like standing by this door, the side door, to get out to the small yard. And we waiting for the officer to open, like turn the key, open the door and let us out there. And then as we started going out, it was people running to the basketball court because they wanted to get the ball first so they can shoot up and be captains and pick their teams. And that's what they did. By the time I walked over there, I'm standing in a line with a couple other people. And on my side was my bunkie. And we're standing like this, looking at the game while they're playing gladiator football and acting all crazy with the ball, clotheslining, people tripping them and doing all this old wild stuff. When I looked to the left of me, that dude was right there. You know what I'm saying? The one that ran off one of them people for their money. He was standing there and sitting there like this with the same type of unit on his face that I had on mine as we're looking at the basketball game, bro. And I'm trying to tell you, man, you would never think something like this was gonna happen. Yo, you see two dudes coming out of the other side. And they're coming out the other side and you see them looking around and he point to dude and they pull out these bone crushers and these bangers. And at the time, I'm just looking because I know they can't be coming for me. I know I don't have no situations with them, but I wanted to see exactly how they was going to move. And they split right at homeboy. And then one touched his right shoulder. They used this old move on him, touched his right shoulder. And once he turned his neck, this whole region right here was open. And dude caught him. And he got him in his neck. And my man starts running off. He running trying to get away from him. He like, oh man, oh. And they just, I'm talking about, they lunged at him big time. Boom. And they hitting him from different directions while he's trying to run. And he's trying to move through people that's still on the court trying to get out the way. He's running and scrambling through them. And I'm talking about, yo, they're using some big tools and I'm talking about hitting them deep, boom, bringing them things out. So they must have been using some bone crushers. They poured this man out. He's on the ground trying to block. He can't block. They stab him in his wrist area, his arms. I'm talking about they tore dude up. No officer came in that area. It had to be somebody in the tower to make the call, letting them know that it's a guy down there that's about to lose his life. And we stood there, like probably a crowd of like 45 people, and we watched. We watched as the life left out of this dude for running off with these people money. And that's what they were saying the whole time. If you want to run off with that money, you want to run off with us, playing on niggas' top, man. And I'm talking about, I didn't see them miss, not once. They got him all in his face area. One stabbed him in his ear, hitting him all on his head, back of his head, up here, like right beside his eye, hitting him in his nose, shoulders, everything. Like, I'm talking about they did him in the worst way, bro. They tore dude up, and actually, from that day, it kind of told me, don't play with nobody's money. Don't play no games inside the chain gang. Don't be owing nobody nothing. Because if I ever get to the point where I feel that I can't pay them, I don't want to feel like I need to run. know what I'm saying, to go catch out. Even if I needed to do that to recoup, don't do it. Don't come to these chain gangs playing games. If you have to do time, do your time respectfully. Try to stay to yourself, especially even if you don't have nobody from the outside showing you love and getting money to you and stuff like that. Find something to do in there to keep yourself busy. Find a way that you can eat a little bit more so you'll be all right at nighttime and through the day, man. Please take heed to these stories that I tell y'all, because these are all real situations. These are not made up stories. These are stories made up for you to listen to, take heed to, and move the right way. This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo. I'm asking y'all, please don't do nothing stupid outside in these streets, man, where you'll find yourself in somebody's county jail, prison, a chain gang. That's it. That's simple. Stay out the way. Stay away from people that's trying to send you down a dark path, because once you get sentenced, that's it. It's only you. Believe me when I tell you, it's only you. Even with your bus partner. You don't want to lean on nobody. Lean on your own decisions. Make your own decisions, and you'll come out your own way as your own man. Trust me. You'll live a way better life. Remember that. Peace, y'all.
The Red Room stories are based on real events. Some details have been changed and dramatized for entertainment. Please don't try anything you see or hear in these videos. Thank you.
What's up? What's going on, everyone? This is your boy Big Miz from the zoo. And we are back in the Red Room. And this situation right here takes place in Valdosta State Prison. And it's about an individual named Darrell. And Darrell was new to the camp. I talked to his family before making this video and talking about the situation, because the situation is very touchy for a lot of people, especially his loved ones. But they wanted me to express how vicious of an attack it was when it came to Darrell and his attacker. What happens to be a reoccurrence in the Georgia Department of Corrections to this day, that now the person that's closest to you, your actual cellie, could be the one that attacks you and takes your life away from you. But they said that little Darrell had just got to Valdosta State Prison, and he actually had a low sentence, so no one knows why he was sent to that level 5 camp, not being a violent offender, having a low sentence or only like 18 more months to do. And he got into a couple situations, a couple arguments and stuff like that inside of the dorm that he was in. He was in the bottom in E and F. And he felt that he was not in the safest position to keep arguing with people, knowing that he is a he is a person without a gang tie. He's just a civilian, and he's not even from Georgia at all. So he did not come down there with no bus partners or knowing anyone. All he had was his family on the outside, taking care of him and trying to make sure that he's straight so he don't have to ask people for nothing. But the people were testing him and testing him, the guys of his age, because he was only 20 years old. And he saw that one situation was getting a little bit too far with the alleged gang member, and he did not have any type of weapon, no type of knife or nothing, and he didn't want to buy one. He said he just wanted to do his time and leave. So he thought of a good plan to get the night shift orderly detail, and he got it, I think, within 10 days, they said. And then once he got the detail, he made his move while he was sweeping and stuff like that in the nighttime while everybody's locked down to pack his stuff up and go to the hole. But people watched that move. They saw him making that move, and the people that he argued with, especially this one individual that was with a certain gang that we're not going to put too much a light on, did not like the fact that he called out because they wanted to do something to him themselves. So they called around inside the hole. They're sending kites out and everything to find out what cell he was in. And he happened to be in the cell with a fool. A straight up killer. Someone that can easily and will easily make that decision to put wings on you and take your life away from you, and can sleep with no problem after the fact. And the gang members in the dorm were so happy and pleased to know that he's in the cell with him. So they asked to contact him, sending kites over to old boy because he didn't have a phone. And they was telling him that they'll pay him a amount of money. I didn't really get the amount of money that they offered this dude, but he said yes to it. And whatever drugs was attached. And he actually waited for that young man to be in a very vulnerable position, using the bathroom, on the toilet, using the bathroom with the curtain up. And old boy already had a banger inside the cell. And they said when the dude went to go, like, you gotta do courtesy flushes. When he went to go start flushing the toilet, he could not hear. That dude was setting up to get up to attack him. And when he bust that curtain open, he jumped at him and started stabbing old boy. And he hit little Darrell right in his face, under his cheek, the first time, boom. Then he started hitting him again, and he was hitting him, and Darrell is trying to move around, but he's already hurt and bleeding out his face. And dude is just coming from all angles, just hitting him and stabbing 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 him, to the point where it was no coming back and no fighting back for Darrell. He stabbed that man so many times it made no sense. And then he went and put him under the bunk. Put sheets on him and put him under the bunk and started cleaning that cell. And left that man in there, man. He left him in there for days. This man's body started going through rigor like, and decaying. And nobody never knew what was going on. No CEOs paid attention enough to know that this young man is under this bunk, dead, deceased. Until one day, his cellie goes to the shower, and there's a CEO going around with the nurse. They're going from dorm to dorm, and they can smell something, because that man's door was still cracked open. And they said when the officer opened the door and the nurse was saying, "Hey, are you all right?" She just screamed. And everything went from like berserk from there. They saw that it's a body laying there, wrapped up like a mummy, and it's stinking inside the dorm. And this the body of Darrell. Little man didn't have a chance. He was there for 12 days. 12. And he was unalived at this level 5 grade and got lost to state prison. This Red Room video right here is dedicated to all of the inmates that keep losing their lives on the daily basis by the hands of their cellie, viciously attacked. This makes no sense. Y'all have to wisen up. It has to cease. The murders, it has to cease. Right now, I am playing catch up, trying to do these Red Room videos, but it's too many unalivings going down. I'm just asking y'all, please, find something safe to do. Don't find yourself doing something stupid outside in these streets and be in somebody's county jail, prison, or chain gang. You're better than that. The world was better than that. It's a shame, y'all. It's a shame. Yo, what's going on? This your boy Big Miz from the zoo, man. Yeah, and I'm a prison content creator, man. I speak about all things county jail, prison, and chain gang related. I try my best to bring forth the awareness of the dangers inside the prisons, let y'all know exactly what's going on inside the chain gang, where I did 2 prison stays, and the things that I saw, the vicious attacks and everything, man. I'm trying to forewarn y'all, going out here and doing crime and stuff and don't pay, and I got some stories for y'all. This your boy Big Miz from the zoo. Peace. You know what's going on? What's going on? This your boy Big Miz from the zoo, and I'm back with another story for y'all, man. And guess what? We found Blake. From the story, the 4 inmates that gangbanged Blake, we found Blake. And yo, wow, I don't know why he thought that, I guess, letting time pass or let time go a little bit, that when he got sent down the road, that he should come off protective custody, PC, and come out to general population. I don't know if he thought some years will go past and people won't, like, recognize who he is, or something won't transpire where they'll figure him out. I'm telling people, like, long as they got these skateboards, these hamburgers, these phones and all that, and they get an inkling of an idea, like they want to search you up, check you out, see what you hitting for, what you talking about, why you in this prison, they're going to do that. And they're going to figure you out, man. And I know y'all know of the story when he came through 901 Wright Street, come in with his paperwork and all that, and was showing it to everybody, and got his cellie to run upstairs and talk to them dudes that came from down the road to 901 Wright Street, and they talked him up into that cell, walked him down to that shower, and brought him back out, threw him in the room, and commenced to taking turns, 4 individuals taking turns on him, running a truck up in this man, you know what I'm saying, taking his manhood, violating him in the worst way. And he actually survived that, and that was a heinous attack. It was very disturbing. It was a messed up ordeal and situation, because I was in the building while this was going on. It was sad. It was bad. But he came in with these charges. And when you come in with SA charges of a very, very young individual, nobody has a heart for you. Nobody cares, and nobody's going to help you. And I saw this happen with this man in the cell. I saw the aftermath of him coming out the cell, how lumped up he was, and how just beat up he was. And he just got raped by 4 different inmates. Some years go past, and we find Blake again. And word was, once he felt, I guess he felt safe, like he was moving around as a sleeper for a minute, going to different camps inside their isolation in their hole, going from camp to camp. So they found like a camp for him. And he wanted to pop out at one of the worst kind of camps. And due to the fact that this situation is a little on fire a little bit, like, I can't tell y'all exactly what camp he landed at, but you in the Georgia Department of Corrections, bro. He wasn't there for a whole 2 weeks, where he started arguing with one of his cellies, and his cellie was a white dude, you know what I'm saying? And they was going back and forth about something. His cellie was trying to get some money from him, because his cellie was on some type of cream or something, and he owed a debt, and he saw that old boy had money on his books, and he was getting food in. And he go arguing with him, and then, like, he going back and forth, like, you seem like a chomo anyway. Like, man, what did you even here for? Like, he coming at him that way, and he went and snuck and found out what this man was in for. Looking this man's information up, for what reason, I don't know. I don't know, man. But I have some footage for y'all, man. So y'all can see this individual that I was talking about, this individual Blake. And they didn't hold no punches once they found out what Blake was in for. They got him upstairs, and they was talking to him and trying to get him to do an apology type of video. And he was trying to rip it out of that room, and they caught him, and they beat this man. They beat him and beat him and beat him, and there was no CO nowhere in sight to stop this attack from happening. They were stomping on their head, kicking him in his face, knocking teeth out. You know what I'm saying? Beating him. Like, it was quite a few people. It was probably like 6 or 7 people beating on this man. And so was his cellie. And then they told him that they was putting him on the door, and they're taking him towards the door, and somebody wanted to take it up a notch and said, yo, come on, we might as well kill this nigga. And they started pouring him out. Some people started grabbing the guy that was actually stabbing him and stuff like that, and told him he ain't even worth it. Let him get up out of here. He ain't even worth it. Don't even get no extra charges on this poor nigga. They was spitting on him and still kicking him, and told him he gonna stay on that door until an officer come and tell him that you're in fear for your life and you gotta get up out of here. Yo, I never thought that I was going to hear anything about Blake anymore or his situation, but this shows that it's a small world, things are real, and you can't hide from your past. Like, it's gonna come up, especially if you're trying to. You're trying to sit in the cut waiting on PC until you find somewhere to go where you can try to manipulate other people so they won't know who you are, they might as well would have dropped your security and sent you with the rest of them. I don't know why they chose to do him like that, but it wasn't a good look for the boy. And he just better be glad life flight wasn't landing on that big yard that day. Because
Yo, what I'm about to do, I'm about to switch it up. I'm about to switch it up to some healing stuff. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. What up? What up, though?
Hi, my name is Dawn Montague. I have a daughter, Chloe, who attends St. Francis de Sales School, Catholic School. She is a part of the Children's Scholarship Fund of Philadelphia. So far, it has done wonders. Without the Scholarship Foundation, my child would not be able to attend a Catholic school. We wouldn't be able to afford it. So it's definitely been a great help in our lives. The main reason why I selected a Catholic school over public school was for the discipline and the great academics and just being able to continue on throughout her education and to be able to join. It is one of the best things I could have ever done.
Do that one song you was singing the other day. Bro, come on, bro. Do that one song you was singing the other day. Bro, come on, bro. Sylvester, you talking crazy, I'm in the chest. Oh, Sylvester, yo. I never leave my brothers I don't care what they do or say. Sitting in my cell, holding back tears, thinking about the ones who ain't make it. Growing up, we had it hard. Hold your hands up if you can relate. Just a few poor kids trying to get rich, even though we made mistakes. But how can you blame us? We grew up dangerous. The system tried to claim us, so we ended up chained up. Lost a couple people along the way. Some died, some vanished. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Robberies, murder, money, and convictions. Take me back to 2018, when we used to race down Claudine. I ain't felt the feelings in a long time, cause lately I've been numb from the codeine. I finally made it out the wall. Now I'm on the yacht drinking champagne. Told money was a step, we need these urban made back. We used to walk to the store in the rain. Mama gone, but I still need her. Right or wrong, I'm my brother's keeper. I don't know if I can get deeper. Simmer. I keep climbing, it's getting steeper. I keep trying, cause I'm a believer. Feel like I'm dying, I need a breather. Simmer. I never leave my brothers. I don't care what they do or say. Sitting in my cell, holding back tears, thinking about the ones who ain't make it. Growing up, we had it hard. Hold your hands up if you can relate. Just a few poor kids trying to get rich, even though we made mistakes. But how can you blame us? We grew up dangerous. The system tried to claim us, so we ended up chained up. Lost a couple people along the way. Some died, some vanished. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Robberies, murder, money, and conviction. I'm my brother's keeper.
Girl, I'm toxic, I love it. I can control it. I can admit that I'm crazy, you know it. I'm beating that pussy, you're pulling me forward. Plus, you keep it 100 and core. I'm chopping it time, I'm just like a sword. When I'm on the road, I need your boy. Fuck all them bitches, I know that they trying to get under your skin. Na 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 na. I've been busting my head trying to show you I love you. I'm stuck in this cell, what you want me to do? Fighting the prison, I'm looking for clues. This case got me stressing, don't mean to be rude. Trying to get better, the devil won't let me. God send me a blessing, praying to make it through. Been my hand better far away from you. Feel like a vicious dog, wanna break loose. Beating on my chest, trying to make a tune. Thoughts get heavy when they turn on the lights. Look at the heaviness, get forward light. Let me out this time, I promise I'll do right. Stuck in that body, that hurt me at night. Plus my kids keep asking what daddy is. I told them it gonna be 20K, 22. Pulling down in that Cadillac, smoking up out of the pound for the cataract. Baby mama got a nigga, ain't mad at that. Beating on my kids, I ain't having that. They already know what they daddy is saying. Na 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 na. I'm the
When I got charged with murders, they changed on me, they was same. Do that one song you was singing the other day. Bro, come on, bro. Sylvester, nigga talking crazy, I'm in the chest. Oh, na 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 na, Sylvester, yo. I never leave my brothers. I don't care what they do or say. Sitting in my cell, holding back tears, thinking about the ones who ain't make it. Growing up, we had it hard. Hold your hands up if you can relate. Just a few poor kids trying to get rich, even though we made mistakes. But how can you blame us? We grew up dangerous. The system tried to claim us, so we ended up chained up. Lost a couple people along the way. Some died, some vanished. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Robberies, murder, money, and convictions. Take me back to 2018, when we used to race down Claudine. I ain't felt the feelings in a long time, cause lately I've been numb from the codeine. I finally made it out the wall. Now I'm on the yacht drinking champagne. Told money was a step, we need these urban made back. We used to walk to the store in the rain. Mama gone, but I still need her. Right or wrong, I'm my brother's keeper. I don't know if I can get deeper. Simmer. I keep climbing, it's getting steeper. I keep trying, cause I'm a believer. Feel like I'm dying, I need a breather. Simmer. I never leave my brothers. I don't care what they do or say. Sitting in my cell, holding back tears, thinking about the ones who ain't make it. Growing up, we had it hard. few poor kids trying to get rich, even though we made mistakes. But how can you blame us? We grew up dangerous. The system tried to claim us, so we ended up chained up. Lost a couple people along the way. Some died, some vanished. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Robberies, murder, money, and conviction. I'm my brother's keeper.
Girl, I'm toxic, I love it. I can control it. I can admit that I'm crazy, you know it. I'm beating that pussy, you're pulling me forward. Plus, you keep it 100 and core. I'm chopping it time, I'm just like a sword. When I'm on the road, I need your boy. Fuck all them bitches, I know that they trying to get under your skin. Na 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 na. I've been busting my head trying to show you I love you. I'm stuck in this cell, what you want me to do? Fighting oppression, I'm looking for clues. This case got me stressing, don't mean to be rude. Trying to get better, the devil won't let me. God send me a blessing, praying to make it through. Fit my hand metal far away from you. Feel like a vicious dog, wanna break loose. Beating on my chest, trying to make a tune. Thoughts get heavy when they turn on the lights. Look at the heaviness, get forward light. Let me out this time, I promise I'll do right. Stuck in them body, that hurt me at night. Plus my kids keep asking what daddy is. I told them it gonna be 20K, 22. Pulling down in that Cadillac, smoking up out of the pound for the cataract. Baby mama got a nigga, ain't mad at that. Beating on my kids, I ain't having that. They already know it, they daddy, they said it. Na 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 na. It's another one. I'm the
Gave me a proper fame. When I got charged with murders, they changed on me, they was same. But it's gonna be okay, cause I just beat my case. Others always come out in difficult situations. My back against the wall, I really lost it all. I guess I lived a motto of all to you. But who would've thought that I feel like it when she get real like this? My bitch on the walk on like she can't live like this. She had to sell my shit, cause niggas stealing shit. I can't go with niggas who ain't built like this. My cousin gone, R.I.P. all my dog. Motivation, dedicating this shit to all of y'all. My homies say YP, they gave me life turn 3. He'd rather die in prison than testify for a plea. Do you know how much pain I see with these eyes? Do you know how many homies locked up or done died? Do you know how many bitches that told me they'll ride? But when it all went down, little baby, you lied. I've been through so much pain, I'm fucked up in this game. Remember all them nights I was stuck in the rain. This shit just ain't the same, cause people steady change. So I just take these meds to ease all of the pain. If life was broke, then might not fix it, cause I'm just spitting facts. And once you start looking, you cannot take it back. And once you take a life, you cannot get it back. So I just pray to God that that karma does not come back. Look deep inside my mind, you'll probably go blind. Still hurt me to this day, all the niggas we left behind. Them bitches caught me slipping, got shot up, had me limping. The bullets off in my body, tell stories of how I'm living. Yeah, just being real, it ain't no chill in me. Got children, yeah, they depend on me to be the man I need to be. Really provide for my family. Pussy not a concern to me. Most of you bitches deserting me. I ain't gonna lie, it hurting me. The pain in my eye was clear to see. But all in all, I still stood tall. Thought to myself like, fuck, y'all, my heart is cold as a snow. Wow, if I don't call it a show, wow, you been all out of chances. So you start making advances. I'm focusing on enhancements. Hoping for better finances. Do you know how much pain I seen with these eyes? I mean, they always lock up or done died. Do you know how many bitches that told me they'll ride? But when it all went down, little baby, you lied. I've been through so much pain. I'm fucked up in your heart.
you. I did it all for you. Girl, I did it all for you. I did it all for you. I did it all for my brothers. I'm stuck in that sun. I can't even call on them. So ready to fall on them. How about with that shit? Cause I'm trying to kill all of them. I miss my grandma, my auntie, but I can't even call on them. I picked up the jail phone, heard a ring ring. I guess I got doubts on them. I did it all for you. I did it all for you. Girl, I did it all for you. I did it all for you. Ay. I did it all for a hoe who's fucking my brother. I can't even look at him. I pop out a K, burn his top. Now She took out a knife, put it in my heart. Now come and ask me if my pain daughter. They told me they love me. I looked at them. Yeah, I already know what y'all want from guillotine. Go E-man, say go E-man. That's how the nigga hoe keep saying. You ain't gotta give me no hand. Feel like I just left New England. Taco Bay water like Ray Buchanan. Right? Brady my number one fan. Brady? Now they looking at me like, really? I got everybody thinking I'm Billy. What? Probably cause they calling me GOAT. Coat top, probably best put on your coat. Yeah. I'm probably gonna really get hot. I'm the one who let the whole city in the shop. Harder than your favorite rapper beating on the box. Uptown Harlem shake a nigga out of sock. Back 4T code unlocked. I'll make a righty go straight right a block. Home right shit on my pops. When you this hard, they be really on your car. Don't leave my block, cause my door ain't even locked. Nigga better put some more soda in it pop before you try to pop it on me like she get wicked, yeah. I heard it catching violence with mama like what you saying. I'm straight about the streets and I'm practice like who you playing. I feel like what my nigga that say about what we had. Ain't gonna take none of your charge, my nigga like what you saying, what you saying. She get wicked, yeah. Say breathing me dirty, but she end up keeping it real. The jewelry that time and got out and caught him with deal. The jacket me that time and I swear you went down the heat. I heard them boy they slam no woman they catch you slip. She my pops one nigga, so I'm guessing I wanna hit it. My mama gave us something, no crackers when we were kids. The question on that, now let my aunt, she took us in. Shot spot off in that coast, my cousin, she end up dead. Trying to end the clip on the nigga and bust his head. Caught me slipping with Kenny, she told me nigga had a dread. But when I catch him out to that chopper, gon' make him dance. Pull off to that little juve, I'm up now, what you saying, what you saying? She get with that. I ain't ready for no back. I ain't happy for no back. I ain't got for no back. But right here, I let anybody feel it. I put it all of you, nigga. I shoot it all of y'all, niggas. Right here. Too many rats in my pocket, these bitches been biting down. They been plying on me for a while. I seen her and leaving one get in my life now. And I been locked up inside prison, they dissing me. Shit, I was all on my own, yo. I was keeping my enemy close, my friends a little close, cause this is a cold world. And I grew up without shit in my home. I was down on my last and I needed a loan. Nobody around, I ain't pick up the phone for you. Still, you can't have it, I'm keeping the crown. Nigga play around, I'm busting it. Don't let me TV. That's I gotta stay home. I'm gonna act like I'm make out with locked in that jungle. So waiting, go, so you better be helping my life. So, nigga, they think I be joking, but I'm not joking. I'm just playing around with that emotion. Hold on, lean, I be sipping on posts. Keeping that glizzy a part of my coach. Stay to myself, I don't fuck with no bullshit. What is it got my life like post shoot? Even if partner, we leaving them chokes. So you better throw it before you approach. We okay. I remember time we were done out there and hop in the minute, man, to get paid. Walk in the club, nigga, web with no age. Now jump on the scoop, I'm feeling so great. Testing my face at the age 14, spinning blunt myself, I ain't going on team. And I'm holding my blood, shit ain't on my chin. Can the rest of that time I was locked in that pen? That's it. If you say you love me and ride for me, well, put in that work for me. If you claim you for me and die for me, well, you gotta work for this. See, you off them Viking D's and Tyson Dean, I took me a perk for this. And I really wish I could see you right for me. I went through the hurt for this. But I know that feeling right after a killing. I've been through that shit like a few times. You let me know trouble at the part of my heart. You sleep on the floor in the full time. It's really irrelevant for niggas to speak on some shit they ain't never did. It's newly developments. Yeah, they trying to hit me with murders I never did. And I would not never go back and forth with these little niggas. They not even up on my level. Go ask the devil. He can tell you about all of your partners got hit with that metal. I was down low, down bad. I had to listen when Kobe was telling me. I lost my soul, now my heart black. So many told me they love me, neglected. So many told me whenever they catch me, they stretching me. I look at life like a blessing. Even though I'm 23, I still handle my business. I stand on this shit, ain't no stretching. You say you love me and ride for me, well, put in that work for me. If you claim you for me and die for me, well, you gotta work for this. See, you off them Viking D's and Tyson Dean, I took me a perk for this. And I really wish I could see you right for me. I went through the hurt for this. But I know that feeling right after a killing. I've been through that shit like a few times. You let me know trouble at the part of my heart. You sleep on the floor in the full time. It's really irrelevant for niggas to speak on some shit they ain't never did. It's newly developments. Yeah, they trying to hit me with murders I never did. I would not speak on that shit if I did it or not. I don't know if you with me or not. I lost my mind trying to figure it out. I'm just hoping you hear me out. Just let me know if you thugging for real. If the ops trying to follow me out, is you jumping out, clutching and busting for real? And I ain't trying to wait find out. So I keep my distance from scrubs and suckers. I ain't never had love for a fuck nigga. Think I went crazy when they killed my cousin. So we started up only my brothers. I don't want to rhyme me if he ain't gonna bust it. Overstood, that's the end of discussion. I just might school with no mask on. I fell in love with the Russian. Still can't believe that my man's gone. Look, Kobe, I love you forever. Love me and the ride for me. You were putting that work for me. You claim you for me and to die for me. Well, you gotta work for this. You off them Viking D's and Tyson E. Now took me a perk for this. And I really wish I could see you right for me. I went through the hurt for this. And I know that feeling right after a killing. I've been through that shit like a few times. You let me know trouble to part my heart. Should sleep on the floor in the futon. It's really irrelevant for niggas to speak on some shit they ain't never did. The new developments, yeah, they tryna hit me with murders I never say. In my first walk up when I was 13, barely understood what hurt me. Shoot shit like I'm 13, like I'm hard, had nobody that'll coach me, yeah. I got my heart broken into 4 pieces, with nobody that'll hold me, yeah. Nowhere to run, so you know we dead. Scars, so forgive me if I'm hard on you, baby. I had made a new baby, I don't think case. She said, do you love me? I'm sorry, you mistake. Package coming in because of 40 immigration. Busting down the pound, residue still on the table. Bad card, this is like Chicago, not a state. These shows, she look make me smile when she take it. Big smoke, I'll leave the ground on my face on. If I feel the blood, so then I'ma take some. Cause somebody in the back, they gon' take some. If you run up on the daddy, get your face done. I'm on the traffic with the static, I'ma spray some. Big B send me on the man with the Draco. Told you I wanted with the time. School up, I'm still in my prime. I don't love Kobe, I'm losing my mind.
was 21 years old, I would be home alone at my parents' house a lot. We lived on a little pond which was directly in our backyard. On the other side of the pond was a little town park. Our neighbors were a bit spaced out. It was a pretty upscale, expensive block compared to the rest of the town, so the properties were big. I'm fully moved out now, but this was back when I was in college. My parents make a lot of money, and we have multiple homes, so often I was home alone. It was a random night in the summertime. I was off from school, so I can't remember if it was the weekend or a weekday, but odds are since I was home, it was a random weekday. I was in the back sunroom watching a show. That was my favorite room in the house in the summer because it was the most cozy and had the best breeze with all the windows open. I was right on the corner of the couch, closest to the corner window, when I heard splashing from outside, like in the pond. It could have been a goose or a duck. Sometimes they'd fight in the water and make a bunch of splashing sounds, so at first I ignored it, but as it persisted, I decided to lower the volume on the TV and listen. I put my ear up to the window even, and I heard consistent splashing sounds, way too heavy to be from a duck or goose. It sounded like they were splashes from a person. I opened the door in the sunroom and stepped outside to the deck. I looked out to the pitch darkness of the backyard. I now heard a man's humming along with the splashes. Someone was definitely swimming in the water. They were trespassing. Each house on the pond owned a specific chunk of the pond. I stepped inside for a second to flick on the lights to the backyard deck. As I did this, just a bit of the pond was exposed, and the splashes and humming stopped. Whoever it was clearly saw me. I wondered if it was one of the neighbors going for a swim or something, which also just seemed weird because no one really swam in the pond ever. But honestly, whether it was or wasn't a neighbor, I wasn't going to confront whoever it was. I stepped back inside and turned off the lights, of course locking the door as well. I texted my brother, who was away at college, about it. He didn't answer right away. I was trying not to creep myself out over it, but watching TV after this was kind of hard. I couldn't focus on the show. I looked out the window, but all I could see outside was darkness. I still had the TV on in the background, not realizing how revealing the light from the TV would be outside. And then, I thought I heard something on the deck. I hurried to find the remote and turn off the TV, and as the room went black and silent, it took me a few seconds to adjust, and realize that there was the sound of someone's heavy breathing right outside one of the many windows in the room. I instantly laid down flat on the couch to try and hide myself, and after a short moment of silence, a deep voice from outside the window said, "I see you." My heart dropped into my stomach. I couldn't decide in the moment whether to speak or keep hiding, so I just blurted out, "Paul, is that you?" Paul was the name of one of our neighbors. I said this, clinging on to the hope that maybe it was him, and he was just messing with me. But the man outside didn't respond to this. I just heard footsteps walking away. As the barefoot-sounding footsteps faded to silence, I still laid flat on the couch, too afraid to move. I laid for a few minutes, before the thought to go check that all the doors were locked came to mind. I exploded off the couch and ran straight for the front door. It was locked, as was the side entrance door. After a little while longer and texting my entire family about what was going on, my dad told me to turn the backyard lights on and check if anyone was still out there. He basically told me to be the man of the house and protect it. So I listened and checked the back deck through the window. It was clear. I brought a big knife outside with me onto the deck, and I looked down. There were wet footprints that had half dried by then, but I could tell that they were barefoot footprints. I followed the trail of footprints around to the side part of the deck, and what I saw was nightmare fuel. The top part of someone's head, namely their eyes and forehead, was peering just over the edge of the deck from the ground below, looking at me as if he heard me coming and was waiting. As we made eye contact, he turned away. By now, I was ready to call 911. I did so before even telling my parents. I locked myself inside, waiting for them. When they came, I felt instantly better. They asked if our family had any enemies or people who don't like us, or if we have any problem neighbors. Questions like this. They did do a quick sweep of
He said he was talking to his girl, and Cam, this is Washington State Prison when they raised my security, and this was my first close security prison that I went to on my second bid. And when we got into the dorm, like this dorm was wide open. There was nobody in the dorm, period. Everybody that got off the bus, off the Bluebird with me, fell up in this dorm. And I went with my homeboy Smooth to Smith State Prison. And we run into these cells, like, because it's clear. Everybody is just starting, like, new. Like, it's a brand new dorm on this, I think, like, the south side of the prison or whatever. And as we're getting acclimated in this dorm, like, everybody's talking about how we're going to, like, have this dorm structured or whatever. It's going to be a player dorm. Everybody going to be smooth and trying to handle business and try to get to some bread. And we're going to start looking for these phones. And that's all I needed to hear, because I needed me a phone. And we heard that getting it from an outside source or whatever, and we had to get the money up, and then we can play. I got Smooth on that phone. Talked to my girl at the time. This is what I'm trying to do. This is the money that I need. Send it to me. It was sent. And I'm looking. I'm heavy on it. Looking for whoever it is that had got these phones to come in. As soon as I got plugged in, like 2 days later, boom, I got my skateboard. Now I'm good. And I was riding for a minute real good. I was on chat lines talking to my girl every day, looking up different stuff, you know what I'm saying, so I can learn more and keep up to date with what's going on in the outside world, you know what I'm saying, like, and it wasn't popular to have a phone at the time that I had one. They was trying to give out 5 mandatory years for anybody that had a cell phone. But I was taking these chances because I just wanted to live a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Feel a little bit more comfortable about my position. And I was. I didn't even have a fireproof spot to put it up at or nothing. And this is the big mistake that I made. Because I remember the day that I caught my cellie, while I was on detail as a third shift orderly moving around, I slid back in the room, and this is something I usually don't do. After I gave him the phone, he said he was talking to his girl, and I found out that my cellie was on some old other stuff. When I crept back into the cell, he was under the covers talking on the speakerphone, and he was talking to a whole man, saying, baby this, baby that, I miss you, I hear the dude talking with a deep voice saying, send some flicks to him, make sure you butt naked, and be a little limp. I don't want to see no hard thing. I was like, yo, boom, I grabbed the covers. I was like, man, give me my phone, man. I hung up the phone. I'm telling him that he got to go. And at this time, I had already shut the door and locked it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to him. I'm like, yo, as soon as this door open, man, you got to go, bro. And I started hearing, oh, who robbed this house? We robbed this house. Who robbed this house? We robbed this house. I went to the window, I'm looking. I was like, oh, shit, you detective squad. Now I'm scrambling, looking around, trying to find a place to put this phone. I done broke the phone down to battery, back piece, front piece, trying to slide it places, put it into my Mac. I pulled it back out. My son talking about put it in some plastic. He gave me all these plastic bags saying tie it up in a knot and put a string on it and send it through the toilet. I was like, nah, bro. And now I was thinking like, yo, you be talking to dudes, you probably on some other shit. Why don't you boof this joint? This is what I'm thinking. He looking at me like, come on, bro. Come on, jerk. I was like, yo, I need this phone, bro. I need this phone. Now, I hear them marching louder, calling these cadence louder and louder, and I'm spooked, bro. I'm holding these 3 pieces in my hand on the phone that I put it back together, and then all of a sudden, I heard the door pop, and these dudes is coming into our dorm first, man. I was petrified, bro. I was petrified. They told us to get stripped down to our boxes, you know what I'm saying, the socks or whatever. We standing there, boxes and t-shirt, boxes and t-shirt. They looking into the cells, making sure he did that. I done put the phone behind me, and then I try to put it between my legs and then walk like tight and all this, like looking around crazy. And I get caught. As soon as they say, spread them, to pat me down, the phone drop. Boom, they say, we got one. Grabbing, they say, it make moving. And they running me out the door. I done got caught with the cell phone. I'm thinking I'm about to get 5 extra years, mandatory. They sending me to the hole. I feel like a whole dummy with this phone. Like, yo, I only had the phone for a couple months now. Look at me. I'm about to catch an extra 5. When I get into the hole and they slide the DR under the door, I'm reading it. And I'm really expecting it for any loopholes or mistakes because I knew the SOP guidelines and I wasn't letting them whoop me. You know what I'm saying? With the pen, I wasn't letting them do that. And I saw that he didn't put the status, the guy that wrote it up saying that they got me, he didn't put his status and his last name. So this DR was no good at all. I knew I was beating it, but I was still in the cell, like contemplating ways that they can try to manipulate the situation. So I said, I'm gonna keep it tight until DR court or whatever proceeding I had to go through. Now I'm in the cell, just rocking, man. Thinking like, man, what am I gonna do? They give me this extra time. And then I hear the door. And I see somebody coming in. And dude look like, he looking a little polished or whatever, like face shining. He has some deep waves in his head with a little port on the side. And he's coming into the cell. He getting the handcuffs off of him. He looking at me. I'm looking at dude and shit. And I was like, yo, what's up? Now, this dude right here, as soon as he started to speaking, I knew something was up. I knew I was in the world of some shit, bro. Like, this dude turned around and started saying this. A woman will fuck you over every time, every day. Shit. And I ain't lying, G. And they will. They will fuck you over every time, every day. If you ain't paying attention, G, they will tear your whole heart out. Yo, what you in the hole for? He was saying, he was trying to get at some female soul, and she wasn't feeling his pimping, and she is a low-class hoe. She couldn't even understand what he was saying. Everything was going over her head. He was trying to feed her. She acted like she was already fed. Like, he doing all this rhyming and putting stuff together, wordplay. It sounded cool, but for 88, though. For 1988. We was in 2007, so, like, come on, bro. But I'm listening to him, and then I just zoned back out, looking at the ceiling or whatever. And then next thing you know, he's saying it again. A woman will fuck you over every time, every day. Shit. And I ain't lying, G. And they will. They will fuck you over every time, every day. If you ain't paying attention, like, G, oh damn, they will tear your whole heart. I feel you. I'm acting like he ain't just told me that probably like 10 minutes ago. Like, now 20 minutes later, while I'm whipping up my Bombay, he's saying it again. A woman will fuck you over every time, every day. Shit. And I ain't lying, G. And they will. They will fuck you over every time, every day. If you ain't paying attention, G, they will tear your whole heart out. And I'm sitting up here trying to get my pocket together, and this dude says it again. A woman will fuck you over every time, every day. Shit. And I ain't lying, G. And they will. They will fuck you over every time, every day. If you ain't paying attention, G,
They will
Like,
tear your
either
whole heart
he's
out.
forgetting that he keeps saying this over and over again, or mental health in the Georgia Department of Corrections is a real thing. Now, I'm all the way convinced, yeah, this is slightly a little mental health situation. But he know what he's saying, but it's just that he keeps saying it over and over again. So I'm like, yo, if I was in the right mind, I'd probably be jailing off of him and everything. But I'm too worried about my charges and with this cell phone. So I get quiet. And as some time go past, he's mumbling something different. He's looking out the cell. He's walking back and forth on the floor and like doing this little stride, this little walk. Like he was like cold pimping that. So I was like, yo, bro, what's your name? What they call you, man? He said that they call him Fur Coat Freddy from downtown Atlanta by the Greyhound. I was like, by the Greyhound? By the strip club? You be sneaking around there? And he was like, yeah, this is where he get it in at. This is where all the hoes is at and all this. And I knew that area to be predominantly where there's a whole bunch of burnt out junkies and stuff like that. A whole bunch of people is like poverty stricken right there. A lot of people that's homeless stand around there and everything. And he was telling me that he was getting to the bread. He was pimping all these hoes. He had the drugs, the money, the clothes. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing this, that, and the third. He had a long story, a long history of how he used to get it back in the A. And this is exactly what his charges was. You know what I'm saying? He got locked up in Fulton County Jail, pimping charges, soliciting. You know what I'm saying? And he even had like kind of like child trafficking, but on a lower offense, so it can be a state level charge. And now, in my cell, is Fur Coat Freddy. And as he glides from the wall to the door, and I'm talking about gliding, he's smooth walking dude or whatever. I'm listening to him. And then he started making a little bit of sense. I was like, hold up, OG, what you just say?
Man, if you mess with a woman and been fucking with that woman in all them years, and you go back to her, what the fuck you think finna happen, man? Man, it could be some evil shit. Cause she could try to get back at you on some old dirty shit. Man, come on, man. I ain't fucking with that shit. Man, I'm old dope. I'm OG.
Yo, he was making a lot of sense. And as the days went on, I just listened to him as he came up with different little scenarios and skits on how women can be a certain way and come a certain way, and how he's going to strike first, or he's going to play the mind games before she play him. He's not going to go and get stressed out over no broad, and he's not going to do this, that, and the third. That's how you die young and all this. And I was like, yo, all right, if he toned it down just a little bit and didn't talk all that pimp shit, I think he would be 100. He would be legit. I mean, but he was so repetitive, man. And I ain't even going front. I fell asleep for a minute while he was talking. When I woke up, it's back to square one. I'm in here with Fur Coat Freddy. The next following day, they tell me I'm transferring, tell me to pack my stuff up. This is when they made me a sleeper. Where I started going from prison to prison. Like, they took me on the world tour, man. And when I was leaving the cell, I was like, all right, Fur Coat Freddy, I'm gonna get with you, man. And he said, stay strong, my brother. Don't let them talk you out no money. Better be right, man. You better be right, man. Don't let them talk you out no money, though. You hear me? I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna let them talk me out no money. Or no commissary. So I done left home. I get to Ware State Prison. I'm back in the hole. And I done went through quite a few roommates. Some young boys, some old heads. This Spanish dude that did not want to go home. I'm saying, I was learning all different type of lessons back there and really like digging into myself. But what took the cake is when the door went to go open this time, And I'm looking, seeing who's coming in. And I was like, oh, hell no. I know this ain't Freddy. And he like, oh, man. Hey, what's up, New York? I was like, Jersey. He was like, yeah, sure you right. Jersey. What's going on, man? I was like, yo, what's up? And he stood there. And I was looking at his face. And his eyes was like bloodshot red. And I was like, yo, what's going on? He just shook his head. Now, mind you, this is probably a month and a half later, man. And the officer is still at the door after he took the cuffs off of him. And he's talking to him through the window flap. He's talking to him. He said, hey, the counselor's coming right now, man. You're going to be okay, Freddie. You're going to be okay. He just shaking his head. And I'm looking. The lady goes to the door. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at her. And then I couldn't help but to hear the change in Freddie. I'm talking about complete change in his dialogue, how he spoke, and the conviction in his voice when he said the words that he was about to say when he opened up his mouth at that flap on the door, man. When I heard these words, I thought about giving myself a chance, allowing myself to be free from the confinement of this chain gang and think about the free world and getting back to it, getting my mind right, because people can change. People definitely can change. And it's not by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. It takes a higher power and a driving force for this to come to pass. And I sat back as I listened to Fur Coat Freddie speak to the council.
My attorney told me you're now facing 7 life sentences.
7 life sentences?
That's what I was facing. I told my attorney at that point, I tell you what, you tell that judge he could take them 7 life sentences and double it. I'll raise him on that, because I ain't doing near 1 day of them. I said, because tonight it's over with. I'm myself. I had gotten to that point. So they called back to the county jail, had me placed on a suicide watch. At the time, I just started crying. And while I'm crying, I hear this voice. And he's telling me, don't hurt yourself. I got a plan for you.
God?
Yes. And I'm like, tripping. I'm like, no, I know I'm not hearing what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I know I'm really not hearing this. And he says, I've been calling you for a while. You have been misbehaving, and I have a plan for your life. And I said to him, I said, God, is this really you? Show me what you want me to do. And he says, I've been calling you for some time, you know? And I said, Lord, I don't know what you want me to do, but just lead me, please, because I'm about to end it. And my mom always raised me up, you know, to trust in the Lord and everything. And I wasn't doing that throughout my lifetime. I was doing other things. And I took that name Chosen, was called Chosen the Pimp, instead of what I was chosen to be, his vessel. And the message is for you, it's just to turn to him. Ask him to help you out. Don't ask your homeboys in the hood to help you out. Ask God to help you out. Let him work in your life and not you work for yourself. Because once he open that door for you, he gonna open more doors for you that's amazing that you couldn't think to happen. I'm the happiest man in the world, and I'm in prison. But I will not let my residence be defined by who I am. And I just ask y'all to give it to God first.
All right, what up? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm about to sign up off of here. About to sign up off of here. Stayed on here long enough. We're going to try this again tomorrow. I think it's something different or whatever. I know it's pretty late. Yo, until next time, y'all. Peace.